Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from today. I trust you've had a very blessed week indeed. My name is Tosin John from T Angel Business School, where we help business owners, entrepreneurs, and people that actually want to start their business to give them clarity for them to be able to find the focus about what they need in their business, for them to be able to have the steps and the clarification for them to start their business, for them to know what steps they need to do to build that business and make it profitable. At T Angel Business School, we help to give you all the information, the tools, the strategies, the resources, and everything that you need for you to be able to create a beautiful business, a wonderful business, a business that you can actually say to yourself, when I started this business, I was able to resign from my 9 to 5, and I'm now building wealth for myself and for my generations. Our aim is to help you to unleash your purpose, for you to find something doing with your passion, and for you to be able to finally cross over that barrier and for you to launch out and be a successful business owner. And today we will be going quickly into overcoming entrepreneurial fears and self-doubt. The reason why this topic is coming at this time is because I find in my line of business of owning a post office, I was able to actually meet up with a lot of people that never intended to be at the position where they are at right now, where they've lost their job. Some of them have been followed, but they know, they've been told and they've been informed that once the follow is over, there will be no business or there will be no job for them to come back to because the business is folding up. And some of them have said if they had known, if they had, had the foresight about what was going to happen, they would have been able to actually start their business and they will be in a different state they are in right now to what they find themselves. And it's some of us, we don't start and we don't launch into our business, not because we don't have the money. Some people have money saved up. It's not because we don't know what business we want to do. It's not because we don't have the resources or the capability. But some of us have been grounded because of fear, because of self-doubt. And this topic is coming at a point where some of us are at that breaking point, at that place where we are deciding what's next for us. And until we cross over the barrier of what's been holding us back all these years, until COVID actually, brought us to a place where we never imagined we would be. Now, this is what we need. We need to be able to overcome those stumbling blocks that's been standing in our way so that we can move past that. Okay. And some of us, if you've been in a position where you've told yourself or somebody has said to you, oh wow, you speak so well, you should be an international speaker speaking on stages, and you said to yourself, actually I can do that, and you started to get ideas, you started to get interested in that thought, and after the initial excitement has passed, you come back to your real natural self and begin to question yourself. Okay, who am I to start speaking on stage? How do I actually do it? You start to ask yourself all the normal questions. And some of us, you think to yourself, I want to start going to China, going to Turkey, going to so many places, Dubai, to buy things, and for me to resell, and for me to put online, to put on eBay, to put on Amazon and sell them. And then when somebody tells you about it and you begin to imagine all the possibilities. And after the initial excitement wears off, then you begin to question yourself. Who am I to do this? Who is going to buy from me? What if I invest my money and nobody buys? What if all the what if, what could, what should starts to take away that excitement from us. This is the message I have for you today. You can get past that. Every one of us, even for those of us that have been running our businesses for a very long time, we do get this fear. It comes once in a while, but you've got to be at the point where you can, overcome it, where you can't take fear away, because for every stage you are in your business, for every new opportunity that comes, for every area that you overcome, a new fear begins to, rear its head. So you've got to be at the point where you are capable of actually, suppressing any kind of fear that comes up. So I'm going to quickly cite some examples of some of the fears that I've seen at play in some people that actually wanted to start their business, or some that have already started, but they've brought it to a halt because they could not take it further due to some of these fears. So the fear of judgment. Some of us are afraid of what people will say to us, of how they will judge us. Some people, it's not the fear of that judgment, because what I know is this: why are you afraid of somebody judging you? Have they judged you in times past? Or what is the criteria for them to judge you? Why should you think that people will judge you? So we need to make sure that we are bringing this fear, you bring it into focus and find out, why am I even afraid of people judging me? Who are they to judge me? Who are they to tell me what I can do, what I cannot do? They don't hold the key to my life. They don't know my journey. They don't know my life. They don't know my capability. So we need to make sure that we are not stopping ourselves by thinking people are going to judge us. Another fear that I see also happen that brings people to a halt is the fear of failure. You are afraid of failing. And I want to tell you that if you look at the life and the journey of successful entrepreneurs, you will find out that a lot of their time is spent in running their business, in failing, in learning from the lessons of what made them to fail, and for them to retrace their steps, to review, and then they come back. Because failure is something that we need to get to grips with and be, what's the word I'm looking for? We need to be at the point where we think to ourselves, I did not fail. I just learned a way of not running that business, of not doing that business, or I've learned how to handle people better. Maybe the failure of that business resulted from fallout of a business partner. You just learn how not to interact, or you notice the sign earlier. So some of these things, it's not the failure that's actually what we need to focus on. It's the way we react to failure is how we need to pay attention to. Another fear that people also experience and that causes them to not take steps to build or to start their business is the fear of what people will say. This is very, very common with us. Even people that are running their business, sometimes when they want to launch into something different, they're afraid of what people will say, how people will react. And we are humans. This is a normal procedure, is a normal thing. And the reason why some of us are afraid of what people will say is because we've surrounded ourselves with naysayers. They only see problems. They only see the people that are failing. They never cite you examples of people that are excelling in their business. And if you've surrounded yourself with people that only show you, that only give you examples of somebody that started that business and it never worked, of somebody that went into that partnership and it broke down and the person has become penniless, if that's all you have around you, it will be a source of discouragement. It will be a source of demoralization, and all you will worry about is, oh my God, I don't want to actually do this business, because all the examples that you've seen and you've been given and you've been made to see are all the people that are failing. How about those that are succeeding? Why not use them as your yardstick? Why not use them as your examples? So fear of what people will say will not help you to actually move forward, because if that's the only thing that you worry about and you think about, it's going to be very difficult for you to move past that, to look at, okay, what if I do this business and I succeed? What will people say anyway? You've got to have that mindset. Okay, if I do it and I'm good at it and it's making me money, I can actually resign from my job and my business is making me money, is replaced my 9 to 5, it replaced my income, and I actually have more and I have more time. Okay, what will people say? So why can't you think about the other side instead of thinking of, oh, what would they think of me? Would they think I don't have the enablement to be able to start and run this business? Who are they to define for you what your capability is or what you are able to do? Another fear that I see that is at play or is at work is some people are afraid of, if okay, they're afraid by saying to themselves, what if I don't have what it takes to run a business? I was speaking to a staff of mine this week, and we were talking about starting business, running business, and then some of the challenges that business owners have faced in the past few weeks. And she said, well, business is not for me. And when I hear that, it raises a signal, because that is my passion. I want to make a business out of everybody. I want you to become a business owner. It doesn't matter. Once you tell me that, it just, raises that passion in me to dig further, to find out, why do you think you're not made out to run a business or to have a business? And she said, having a business is not something that she's ever thought about, because of all it's going to take. It's going to need a lot of money, a lot of resources. She's going to need people, and a lot of these thoughts, a lot of this fear, a lot of these doubts. When you dwell so much on the bigger picture of having a business, you're looking at the end goal, but you're not looking at the starting point. Because what it takes, this is what I know, and this is what I believe, and this is what I live by. Everything that you need to run a business successfully has already been deposited in you. You need nothing else. Everything that you need to run a business successfully, has been deposited in you. It is now up to you to activate it. It is now up to you to channel it into where you are supposed to use it to become greater and better at running that business. So don't ever think that, oh, do I have what it takes for me to start a business? Do I have what it takes for me to run a business? Of course you do. God has given us everything: the talent, the assets, the gifts, the skills. And some of those things you will learn along the way. That's why we've got the brain. That's why we've got the mind. That's why we've got the will. That's why we've got the spirit. Everything that you need has been given to you. Now you can channel that. If you desire to do something, maybe you want to actually go into the business of designing websites for people, and you've never been an IT person, you can learn it. I see people daily, day in, day out, that their line of what they started from the beginning is completely different from the line they decided to pursue. I've seen people that trained as lawyers, and right now what they are doing, they are into engineering. So you can cut across any sector because you can learn it, unless you decide not to. So don't dwell on the fact that you don't have what it takes for you to actually start and run a business successfully. Another fear and another doubt that people also exercise and that keeps them grounded is the fear that every business idea has been done. Okay, that every business idea has been done, and therefore there is nothing for them to offer. I want to bring this to us just to give us a good example. There are how many billions of people on earth, and one business cannot cater to all of these people on earth. And therefore, we have all been created with different sets of ability. You have something that you are going to offer some sets of people. These are your carved out customers. You are able to reach them. They are able to connect with you. Jimmy Choo sells shoes. It does not compete with Nike. Nike sells boots. So you can find out your own sector. You can find out, carve out your own niche, that those people are your cold customers. They will draw to you no matter what you sell. And don't think that everything has been done. It has not been done by you. You need to find your own place in the marketplace. And the only way that you can set yourself apart from somebody that is doing exact same thing is your set of differentiation, which you can find out by one, learning about the customer, learning about the job, learning about the business, learning about the new things that are coming into market, and how you can now apply that to your personality, and you attract the right set of people to you. People that shop, they can, somebody, still the Amazon, that you can go to shop on there. It will show to you 10 different, one item that you want to buy. You want to buy a cup. It will show to you 10 different sets of people selling different sizes, even that cup at different prices. Some will offer free delivery. Some will ask you to pay. Some will tell you they put it in a different packaging. That is differentiation. And therefore, there is something that you have to offer to people, your core people, your set of people. Okay? And some of the fear that we also exercise in business or in starting up and building our business is the fear of the unknown. Some of us don't know. Okay, what if I start this business? I don't know how it could go. I don't even know if it's going to work. We are afraid of what has not happened. We are afraid of what hasn't even taken place. So who told you it could go wrong? There is nobody that can tell you categorically that when you start a business, it's going to be successful. There is no one that can categorically tell you that when you start this business, it's going to fail. Business takes work. It takes you to be deliberate. This afternoon, I had a business strategy call with a client. And one thing I kept stressing is that what it takes and what it entails for us to work on our business and continue to see success is that we need to be deliberate, we need to be committed, and we need to be intentional. As long as you give your all into that business because it's something that you've started for out of passion and you want to succeed in it, you've got to be committed. So there is no need to fear the unknown. There is no need to fear what is not going, because you're telling yourself, what if, what could, what should. You don't know, and life is a risk. Even staying alive is a risk. You got to, whilst you're alive, you might as well risk, doing what you love. You might as well risk following your passion. You understand? And once we have all of this fear, because there's no point in knowing that this fear exists and we don't know what to do to counteract it, because for every action, there must be a significant reaction. Because if I've only told you about the fear and the doubts that you are exercising and not letting your passion to shine forth, not letting your purpose to come forth, and I don't tell you the ways by which you can actually counteract it and work on it so that you scale past that bridge and bring it closer. Okay, so some of the ways that we can overcome this fear and this doubt is that you need to say to yourself, if you have to print it, if you have to write it somewhere, if you have to make a picture of it and put it as a screensaver on your phone, say this to yourself: I am enough. If you can write that in the comments for me to re-emphasize it, say to yourself, I am enough. Why am I saying that you are enough? Like I mentioned, everything that you need, you've got tags. What are tags that I keep saying? You've got the talent, you've got the assets, you've got the gifts, you've got the skills, tags. If you can write that for me in the comment, you've got the tags and everything that you need for you to actually start and run a successful business. Okay? Most of us never feel that we are ready. Most of us never feel that we have what it takes. Most of us never feel that we can be different from the competition. We can actually beat the competition. But once you begin to exercise that little seed of faith that tells you that, you know what, I have all it takes. I know I can do this. I know I can achieve this. I know I can succeed. I am more than enough. I have everything I need. I have the resources I need. Even if I don't have it right now, I can learn it. Once you begin to reiterate this to yourself, once you begin to tell yourself this all the time, you begin to form and to have a certain mindset of a doer, of an achiever, of somebody that can actually take charge and take control and move and forge ahead. All right. So say this to yourself: I am enough. You are enough to do everything that your heart so desires to do. You have everything you need already. You don't need to look for anything else. Okay. All right. The second thing that you also have to bear in mind about how to overcome fear and self-doubt is you need to get over this perfectionism mindset. Some of us, what has been holding us back and what has been hindering us from taking steps to start our business or to move our business forward is that we want everything to be perfect. And having a perfect mindset, a perfectionism mindset or a perfectionist mindset keeps us grounded. It does not let us move. Because what you will find out that is this: you are dwelling or wanting a perfect website. When you have the perfect website, then you find out that you need the perfect services to offer. Then you find out that you want your price to be perfect. Before you know it, all the waiting for the perfect begins to add days to months, months to years. Before you know it, you've looked back and you've spent 2 years waiting to perfect everything. 2 years, what you thought was perfect 2 years ago, things have come up, new resources are out there, new ways of marketing are out there, and you find out that your perfect 2 years ago, you will need another 6 months to even perfect it. And therefore, for you to overcome that fear, just do it. Just be a Nike and just do it. Because every time you wait for it to be perfect, you are delaying it. And the more you delay it, you are denying it. And once you continue to deny yourself of going and chasing your dream, the longer it takes, the lesser the desire to actually do it. I'll repeat that. The more that you delay because you're waiting for things to be perfect, the more you are denying yourself of launching. And the longer you wait to actually launch, the lesser the desire to actually do it. And you need to understand that until you give yourself the benefit of the doubt that, I know I'm not ready yet. And that is one of the things I told my client today when I did the strategy call with her. Don't wait until when you're ready to launch. Believe and take action now like you already launched today. Even if it means you creating a social media page, to say this is my business. Put the word out there. Put the business out there. Do whatever it is that gives you, confidence day by day. Because you do not build the confidence to launch in a day. Nobody wakes up confident. Confidence comes from taking courageous steps daily. And the more steps that you take, the more confident you begin to get. And once you begin to build the confidence, then everything starts to take shape. Everything starts to take place. Okay. And the next thing I want us to do is to have the understanding that a lot of people that start business, they don't have it all figured out. You do not need to have all the steps in place. You do not need to know all the things that are going to work together. Sometimes you just need to take the leap of faith and just, they say if you are going to walk on water, you've got to step out of the boat. You've got to take that leap of faith and say, you know what? I don't need to have it all figured out. I just need to start. What is the first thing that I could do? Brainstorm everything that you think they may not be the necessary steps. But once you think it, write it down and find the steps for you to take it, further. And it will really help you to go forward. The number 4 thing that will really help you to overcome the fear and self-doubt is that you need to learn the ropes. Ignorant is not a bliss. This season that we are now is not the time for us to not be aware of what we need for us to be able to launch out and become entrepreneurs that we want to be. You need to understand that if I need to do this, even if it's just basic Googling and find out, okay, I want to start a website design business. What does it take? Put that old word into Google. You will begin to see blog posts about people telling you about how to start a website design business. You go to YouTube, you will see enough videos that will keep you occupied for the whole day about how to start a website design business. And if you want to go into makeup, you want to be a makeup artist, you want to be an event planner, any kind of business you want to do, learn what it takes. Because what you will find out that the more you learn about this, it begins to give you a sort of confidence that I can do this. I think I know what to do now. I think I have the steps to launch now. If you want to set up, and maybe what you want to do is, first of all, you want to create you want to set up your social media page. You go to YouTube, you learn how to create a business Facebook page, you learn how to create an Instagram, Facebook, and you start from there. So once you begin to learn, you begin to get confident about what you need to do to move forward. All right. The number 5 thing of what you need for you to be able to overcome your fear and self-doubt is that clarity comes from engagement, not thoughts. A lot of times we are just thinking about what we need to do. We are not actually doing what we need to do. And thinking about something, worrying about something, being fearful about something is not the solution. It gives you no solution to it at all. What you need to do is to actually begin to engage in that thing. Even if it's in a friendly way, not in a formal way. Begin to get informal. Begin to join groups of people that are already doing something similar. If you join Facebook groups about people that are already doing this sort of business, if you go to forums, online forums about people that are already, begin to see for yourself, what does it take? Begin to engage, because the more you engage in the sort of business that you want to do or you're already doing, the more information that is available to you. And the more information, resources, the knowledge that you begin to, take on, the more you see how to plan yourself, how to channel your energy, how to plan your time, how to do everything. And before you know it, you are launching this thing without even realizing. So clarity, like I said, comes from engagement, clarity of what steps to take, clarity of what resources you need, clarity of the amount of money it would take for you to start and run the business. It comes from engaging with other people that are already doing it. See what they are saying. Check their Instagram posts. Check their Facebook pages. You see what they are doing, and it helps you to know where you need to start. Okay? Number 6 is for you to surround yourself, which led me from the clarity part. Surround yourself with people that will encourage you. Some of us are surrounded by people that are going nowhere, and they don't want you to also go anywhere. So you need to disassociate yourself from naysayers. There are some people, they are ready to talk you down from every single positive idea you have. This is the time to unlock yourself from them. This is the time to remove them from your page. Every time they share something on social media, it's all the negative things. Disassociate yourself from them. Surround yourself with people that when you mention your ideas to them, they are ready to give you 10 tips about how to start. They are ready to give you all the resources they have that is going to help and lift you up. Because until you are in the midst of people that will lift you up, that will encourage you, that will send you positive vibes, You're going to continue to feel like you're not enough. You're going to continue to feel like you can't do this. But when you remove yourself from those patterns and association of people that are bringing you down, and you pluck yourself, you plant yourself among people that are already doing great, that are encouragers, that are lifters, then you begin to see yourself in a new light. You will challenge yourself to go further than you actually thought you could. And finally, is this: you overcome fear by faith. Faith helps you to overcome your fear, and it helps you to overcome your self-doubt. One thing that I know that will really help us to overcome our fear is the fact that we need to believe that as long as this thing I've decided to do, or that I really want to do, or that I have passion for, you believe in it and you have received, so I believe in prayer. You've prayed about it and you can see signs that this is meant for you. All you need to do is to operate in faith, that how you are going to get to the finish line, how you're going to get to your destination, that God is able to bring you there. Okay, your faith will help you in times of challenges. Your faith will help you in times of discouragement, because even running a business, even when you actually launch and you're running a business, challenges will come. Challenges are part of life. But the faith that you have, that this is my purpose and I'm working in it, it will help you to overcome those challenging times. It will help you to overcome those troubled times, because you know that there is always going to be a way of escape. Okay, and that you are able to bear whatever life throws at you, that you are able to bear whatever circumstances thrown at you by whatever, and you believe that no matter what, you will not fail, because everything that you see or other people see as failure is just a way that you have learned of how not to do certain things. Not that you failed, but that you will not do those things in those ways, in those patterns, because you've learned the lessons from it and you're moving forward. You're applying those lessons for your next move. And on that final note, I want to really appreciate you for joining me today. And if there are ways, if there are topics, if there are things that you feel I can actually bring up, I can actually talk about to encourage you, to shed more light about how to start and run a successful business, I really want to wish you a wonderful weekend. And don't forget, you are made for more. You can be, do, and have whatever your heart so desires. Until I see you next time, remember, you are able to unleash your purpose, your passion, in order for you to be able to create a profitable and a successful business. Thank you. Cheers and bye for now. Thank you.